Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare states $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them. You're lucky if you have one of these, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1, today, because in this episode, we're diving into a seemingly common coin that could be hiding a massive secret, one that could put serious money in your pocket. We're talking about the 2019 United States of America Lowell quarter, a coin that millions of people use every day without realizing what it might actually be worth. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about a 2019 quarter? Well, that's exactly what makes this story so exciting. At first glance, the Lowell quarter looks like just another modern piece of change. It's part of the America the Beautiful Quarter series, and this specific one honors Lowell National Historical Park in Massachusetts, a symbol of America's industrial past and the hard-working women who helped build the country. The design is stunning. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll see a detailed image of a mill girl working at a power loom with a window in the background showing a large smokestack. It's a tribute to the thousands of women who worked in textile mills in the 19th century, making Lowell a powerhouse of industry and progress. It's one of the most symbolic and meaningful designs in the series, one that tells a story not just of history, but of the spirit of American determination. But here's where things start to get very interesting. Not all Lowell quarters are created equal. Some of these coins have rare minting errors, mistakes made at the U.S. Mint, that turn an ordinary 25-cent piece into a collector's dream. These errors are what make a coin go from pocket change to museum-worthy treasure. So what kind of errors are we talking about? Well, collectors have reported some very specific and rare varieties that can significantly boost the value of the coin. One of the most sought after is the double die error, where the image appears to have been stamped twice, creating a shadow-like effect, especially noticeable around the inscriptions and details of the loom or the woman's figure. These errors occur when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between strikes, leading to a doubled appearance. The rarer the doubling, the more valuable the coin. Another rare and valuable error is the off-center strike. Imagine the entire image shifted to one side so that part of the coin design is missing or cut off. These types of coins are often caused by a misalignment during the minting process and are extremely hard to find in circulation. But when you do find one, you might be holding a small fortune in your hand. There are also known issues with die chips, small raised blobs of metal that appear on the coin due to damaged dies. These chips often show up on the edges or near the lettering and can make your coin unique, especially if the error is in a recognizable or eye-catching spot. Now, here's the thing. These error coins are not always obvious to the naked eye. Sometimes you need a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to catch the tiny details. But that's what makes collecting so thrilling. It's like a treasure hunt where the prize could be thousands of dollars, just sitting in your change jar or pocket. And what makes this even more exciting for collectors is that the Lowell quarter was the very first release in the 2019 America the Beautiful series. First releases often hold more value because they mark the beginning of a new chapter. Plus, this coin was released in multiple mint marks, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco, each with its own unique appeal. The San Francisco proof versions, in particular, are often struck in higher quality and can be even more desirable, especially in deep cameo or silver proof versions. So let's paint the picture. You find a 2019 Lowell quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, or better yet, you spot a rare error like a double die or off-center strike. What's it worth? Is it just a cool collectible, or could it be your lucky day? Well, hold on to your seat, because some of these rare error Lowell quarters have sold for $49,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth just 25 cents to most people could be worth nearly 50 grand to the right collector, and that, my friends, is the magic of coin collecting. You never know when a piece of your pocket change could become the highlight of an auction. So the next time you get a handful of quarters, take a second look. Flip them over. Check the mint marks. Look for doubling, chips, or anything that seems off. That little glint of metal could be worth more than your phone, your car, or even your last paycheck. Top 2, we're uncovering the hidden value behind the 2009 United States of America Guam quarter, and trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end, because this little island coin might just make your wallet a whole lot heavier. Now, let's start with the basics. What makes this coin special in the first place? Released in 2009 as part of the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program, the Guam quarter holds a unique place in American coinage. While many collectors are familiar with the 50-state quarters, fewer realize the value that lies in this short but significant follow-up series that honored U.S. territories, like Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, American Samoa, and of course, the beautiful island of Guam. The design on the reverse side of the Guam quarter is a powerful tribute to the island's culture and heritage. It features a traditional sailing canoe known as the prow, and an outline of the island itself, along with a symbol called the latte stone, a stone pillar used by ancient Chamorro people as the foundation for their homes. Together, these symbols represent strength, history, and resilience, capturing the spirit of the island in a single, timeless image. But while the design is beautiful and rich with meaning, there's something even more thrilling about this coin: it's got secrets. That's right, some 2009 Guam quarters were struck with rare and fascinating errors, and these errors are what can turn a simple 25-cent piece into a show-stopping treasure for collectors. Let's talk about those errors, because this is where the story takes a wild turn. One of the most talked about issues with the Guam quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin's image is struck more than once, creating a ghost-like double effect on the lettering or details. In the Guam quarter, this can show up around the words Guam, pluribus unum, or even in the finer elements of the canoe or latte stone. These types of errors are rare, and spotting one takes a keen eye and some patience, but when you find one, the value skyrockets. Another known issue is the misaligned die strike, where the coin's image is off-center or partially missing. Imagine finding a Guam quarter where the island's shape is pushed to the edge, or the lettering wraps around oddly. These kinds of flaws happen during the minting process and are incredibly rare, especially when the rest of the coin remains in good condition, and that's not all. Some Guam quarters have been found with die cracks, which look like raised lines on the surface of the coin, caused by stress fractures in the die itself. These cracks can sometimes stretch across the island image or run through the lettering, giving the coin a unique and one-of-a-kind appearance. Now here's where things really start to get exciting for collectors. The Guam quarter wasn't minted in huge numbers compared to some other coins, and it wasn't widely saved at the time of release. That means finding one today, especially in mint condition or with a rare error, is like finding a needle in a haystack. These aren't coins that show up every day in your pocket change. They're disappearing fast, and the ones that are still around are mostly worn, scratched, or heavily circulated. That rarity is exactly what makes these coins so sought after in the collector world. And when you throw in the possibility of a striking error, especially one that's dramatic and easy to see, you've got a coin that doesn't just belong in a binder or a folder, it belongs in a high-stakes coin auction. So let's bring it all together. You have a coin from a small U.S. territory, part of a short-lived series, with beautiful symbolic artwork, and a strong cultural identity. Combine that with a rare minting error, add in high-quality preservation, no scratches, no circulation damage, and what do you get? You get a collector's dream. You get something that people are willing to pay big money for. In fact, some 2009 Guam quarters with rare errors, found in uncirculated or near-mint condition, have sold for a jaw-dropping $55,000, yes. You heard that right. A single quarter, 25 cents in face value, can be worth $55,000 in the world of coin collecting, and the best part? It could be hiding in a drawer, a coin jar, or even in your change from the grocery store. That's why checking your coins is never a waste of time, because sometimes, ordinary turns into extraordinary. If you're just as amazed as we are, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss a chance to uncover your own hidden treasure. We've got tons more videos coming on rare coins, secret errors, and collectibles that are worth far more than meets the eye. Top 3, we're diving into a very special coin that could be sitting right in your collection or even in your spare change, waiting to make you a lot of money. Today, we're talking about the 2005 West Virginia quarter, and let me tell you, this coin is far more than just a piece of currency. It's a potential goldmine. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 2005 West Virginia quarter so special? Well, it's all about history, rarity, and, of course, some pretty incredible minting errors that can make this seemingly ordinary coin worth a fortune. This quarter is part of the famous 50-state quarters program, which was released by the U.S. Mint to honor each state's unique culture and heritage. And when it comes to West Virginia, this coin tells a story of natural beauty and rugged spirit. The design on the reverse side of the quarter features the iconic New River Gorge Bridge, one of the most well-known landmarks in West Virginia. This bridge, which stretches across the New River, symbolizes the strength and resilience of the state. Beneath the bridge, you'll see a soaring hawk, which represents freedom and the beauty of the wild landscape of the Appalachian Mountains. The scene is as breathtaking as it is symbolic, just like the state itself, but here's where it gets really interesting for collectors. While many people see this quarter as just another state coin, the 2005 West Virginia quarter is actually very rare in certain conditions, and that's exactly what makes it so valuable. You see, while millions of these coins were minted, a small number of them were struck with minting errors that make them highly sought after by collectors. And when you find one of these error coins, the value skyrockets. One of the most common, and most valuable, errors on the 2005 West Virginia quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, causing parts of the image to appear doubled or blurry. The most notable places to look for this error are the words West Virginia and E pluribus unum. If you spot any doubling around these areas, you could be holding a coin worth thousands of dollars, but it doesn't stop there. Another mistake that makes this coin stand out is the off-center strike. If a coin is misaligned during the minting process, it can cause part of the design to be missing or cut off. This can make the quarter look unusual, and in the world of coin collecting, that's a good thing. The more unusual the coin, the more valuable it can be. Off-center strikes on the 2005 West Virginia quarter are especially prized because they're rare and can make for some unique collectibles, and if that's not enough, there are also die cracks that can make this coin even more appealing to collectors. A die crack happens when the engraving die used to strike the coins cracks. These cracks can leave raised lines or streaks on the surface of the coin, and they can appear in various parts of the design. Some die cracks are so unique that they make the coin even rarer and more valuable. Now, you might be wondering, how do these errors and variations affect the value of the coin? Well, here's the exciting part. A perfect, uncirculated 2005 West Virginia quarter with no errors may be worth a bit more than face value, maybe a few bucks for a coin in pristine condition. But once you start factoring in those rare minting errors, especially the double die and off-center strikes, the value of this coin can increase exponentially. In fact, some of these error coins have sold for as much as $50,000. That's right, this humble 25-cent piece could be worth $50,000 if you've got the right error and if it's in pristine condition. Imagine finding one of these rare coins in your spare change or a coin jar. It's the kind of discovery that could change your life and put you on the map as a serious coin collector, but don't think that this is some impossible find. It's out there. Coins with these rare errors do surface, and if you're lucky enough to spot one, you could be holding a coin that's worth more than most people's cars. And the best part? You don't need to go on some expensive treasure hunt. These coins are still out there in circulation, waiting to be discovered. So, what should you do next? Well, start looking through your spare change. Check your old coin collections, flip through rolls of quarters, and keep an eye out for any 2005 West Virginia quarters that look a little unusual. If you spot doubling on the text, an off-center strike, or even a die crack, don't ignore it. That little mistake could be your ticket to a big payday. Top 4, we're about to dive into a very special quarter, the 2002 Ohio State Quarter. Now, before you think, it's just another state quarter, think again. This little coin may look like a typical piece of change, but it's got secrets. Secrets that could make you a lot richer than you ever imagined. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll see just how valuable this coin can truly be. First, let's set the stage and talk about why the 2002 Ohio quarter is so important. This coin was part of the famous 50-state quarters program, which the U.S. Mint launched in 1999 to honor each state's unique history and culture. The Ohio quarter, released in 2002, marked the 17th state in this series and came at a time when the program was really gaining momentum. Now, Ohio has a rich and storied history, and the design on the reverse of the quarter beautifully represents this. The image features the Cedar Point Amusement Park, a symbol of Ohio's contribution to the world of entertainment and tourism. But what really makes this coin stand out is the inclusion of an outline of the state of Ohio, right next to a rising sun, which represents Ohio's place as the birthplace of aviation. Of course, we know Ohio as the home state of the Wright brothers, the pioneers of flight, and their influence is immortalized on this very coin, but here's where things get really exciting. While millions of these quarters were minted, only a small fraction of them hold the true value that coin collectors are looking for. You see, while most people might toss this quarter into their pocket change without a second thought, there's something very special about some of the 2002 Ohio quarters that could make them worth a small fortune. The first thing to look out for is minting errors, which are a collector's dream. These errors happen when there's a mistake during the coin's production process, and let me tell you, some of these mistakes can turn a coin worth 25 cents into something worth thousands. One of the most common, and most valuable, errors on the 2002 Ohio quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped more than once, causing some parts of the image to appear doubled, blurry, or shadowed. On the Ohio quarter, this can be seen around the words Ohio and E pluribus unum, or in the details of the design, like the rising sun or the outline of the state itself. These double die coins are extremely rare, and if you've got one, you could be sitting on a serious treasure, but that's not all. Another error that collectors go crazy for is the off-center strike. If the coin is struck incorrectly during minting, it can result in part of the design being cut off or shifted. Imagine a quarter where Ohio's outline is off to one side, or part of the sun is missing. It would be unusual, right? Well, in the world of coin collecting, that unusual look is exactly what collectors love. Off-center errors on the 2002 Ohio quarter are particularly sought after, and when you find one, you can bet it'll fetch a premium price, and don't forget about die cracks. Over time, the dies used to strike the coins can become damaged or cracked. This results in raised lines or cracks on the surface of the coin, which can sometimes appear on the Ohio quarter's design, giving it a completely unique appearance. These die cracks are another form of error that can make the coin more desirable to collectors, particularly if the crack is in a prominent part of the design. Now, let's talk about condition. While errors are important, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, meaning it has no scratches, no wear, and no signs of being used, will always be more valuable than one that has been tossed around in a coin jar for years. Collectors are always on the lookout for well-preserved coins, and when you find an Ohio quarter with an error in near-perfect condition, the value goes through the roof. So, what kind of value are we talking about here? A typical 2002 Ohio quarter in circulated condition may not be worth much more than face value, just a quarter. But if you have one with a rare minting error, especially a double die or off-center strike, you could be looking at a coin worth $53,000. Yes, you heard that right. A 2002 Ohio quarter with the right error and in exceptional condition has been known to sell for $53,000 at auction. That's right, something as simple as a 25-cent piece could be worth more than a brand new car, a vacation home, or even some of the most expensive electronics out there. It's stories like this that make coin collecting so thrilling. You never know when you'll find that hidden gem in your pocket change, tucked away in your coin jar, or sitting in your old collection. So the next time you get your hands on a 2002 Ohio quarter, take a moment to check for those errors. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, and even die cracks. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 5, we've got a real treat for you. A coin that might just be sitting in your collection or even your pocket change, waiting to make you a lot of money. Yes, I'm talking about the 2002 Mississippi State Quarter. This coin might look simple at first glance, but it has secrets that could make you a serious profit. Trust me, you're going to want to stay until the end of this video to learn just how valuable this coin can be. Let's start by taking a look at the 2002 Mississippi Quarter and what makes it so special. As part of the 50 State Quarters program, the Mississippi Quarter was released in 2002, and just like the other state quarters, it was designed to celebrate the history, culture, and heritage of Mississippi. The design on the reverse side of the coin features an image of the Mississippi River with a steamboat and the pillars of the Mississippi State Capitol in the background. These elements not only represent the river's historical significance in Mississippi but also honor the state's role in the development of steamboat travel and commerce along the river. The design truly captures the spirit of Mississippi and is an important piece of U.S. history, but here's the thing, while the design is beautiful and represents the state's rich heritage, what makes this quarter really interesting to collectors are the minting errors that have occurred over the years. You see, even though millions of these coins were made, a small number of them were struck with imperfections that make them extremely rare and incredibly valuable. If you've got one of these error coins, you could be holding on to a small treasure. So, what kinds of errors are we talking about here? One of the most valuable errors to look out for on the 2002 Mississippi Quarter is the double die error. This is one of the most sought-after types of minting mistakes, and it happens when the coin's design is stamped more than once, causing parts of the image to appear doubled. On the Mississippi Quarter, this error might show up in the wording, like the word Mississippi or E pluribus unum. It could also show up in the details of the river, the steamboat, or even the pillars of the Capitol building. A double die coin is rare, and when you find one in good condition, it can fetch a significant amount of money, but the double die isn't the only error that makes this coin valuable. Another type of error that collectors go crazy for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, and part of the design is cut off or misaligned. If you find a 2002 Mississippi Quarter where part of the design is shifted to the side, or the steamboat is missing, that's a prime candidate for collectors. Off-center errors make the coin unique and far more valuable than a standard issue, and there's yet another potential mistake that could boost the value of this coin: die cracks. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can become damaged, causing small cracks to form in the die. These cracks can leave raised lines or unique patterns on the coin's surface. For example, if there's a crack running through the pillars or along the river, that could make the coin more attractive to collectors, especially those who love unusual, one-of-a-kind pieces. Now, here's the exciting part: condition. While errors are what make this coin valuable, the condition it's in also plays a huge role in determining its worth. Coins that are well preserved, especially those that are uncirculated and free from scratches, dents, or signs of wear, will always be worth more. If you find a 2002 Mississippi Quarter that is in mint condition, with or without an error, its value will be much higher than one that's been in circulation for years. The more pristine the coin, the more collectors are willing to pay for it. So, now you might be wondering, how much are these error coins actually worth? A regular 2002 Mississippi Quarter in circulated condition will generally be worth just its face value, 25 cents. But when you add in those rare errors, the value goes up dramatically. A double die error, an off-center strike, or a coin with a die crack can make this quarter worth thousands of dollars. But here's the real kicker: a perfectly preserved Mississippi Quarter with a rare error has been known to sell for $54,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $54,000. Imagine finding this coin tucked away in your collection, or perhaps in a roll of quarters you just picked up from the bank. That's how powerful coin collecting can be. It's not just about collecting, it's about recognizing the potential for hidden treasure in the most unlikely places. So, what should you do now? Start checking your 2002 Mississippi Quarters. Look closely at the design, and keep an eye out for those double die errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks. And don't forget to examine the condition of the coin. Top 6, we're diving into a coin that may just be sitting in your collection or even in your spare change, and it could be worth way more than you think. I'm talking about the 2008 Oklahoma State Quarter, and trust me, this coin is more than just a piece of currency. It could be your ticket to a serious windfall. So, what makes the 2008 Oklahoma Quarter so special? First, let's talk about the design. As part of the 50 State Quarters program, the 2008 Oklahoma Quarter was released as a tribute to Oklahoma's rich history and culture. The design on the reverse of the coin features an image of a scissortail flycatcher, which is the state bird of Oklahoma, perched on a branch with a beautiful sunset in the background. Along with the flycatcher, you'll notice a branch of a tree, further symbolizing Oklahoma's natural beauty and wildlife. The design is elegant, simple, and captures the essence of Oklahoma's scenic and vibrant landscape, but while the design itself is beautiful, it's not the artwork that has collectors buzzing. It's the rarity and the minting errors that make this coin a true hidden gem. While millions of these coins were minted, only a select few have those unique errors that make them incredibly valuable. And today, we're going to dive deep into those errors, so you know exactly what to look for when searching for a potentially rare find. The first error you'll want to watch out for is the double die error. This is one of the most common types of mistakes that can increase a coin's value. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts during the minting process, resulting in parts of the design being stamped twice. This can create a blurry or doubled effect, especially in the text, such as Oklahoma, or the words E pluribus unum. A double die Oklahoma Quarter is a true collector's dream, and if you find one in great condition, it could be worth thousands of dollars, but it doesn't stop there. Another error that makes the 2008 Oklahoma Quarter even more valuable is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not aligned properly during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. For instance, the scissortail flycatcher might be missing part of its tail, or the edge of the coin could be cut off, creating a unique look. These off-center errors are rare and highly desirable among collectors, and when you find one of these coins, you can bet it will fetch a pretty penny. Another type of error you may come across is the die crack. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can crack, leaving raised lines or cracks on the surface of the coin. These die cracks can appear anywhere on the coin's design, from the bird to the tree branch, and they give the coin a distinctive look that collectors love. Some die cracks are very subtle, while others can be more pronounced, making them stand out even more. The more noticeable the crack, the more valuable the coin can become. Now, let's talk about condition. This is where things get really interesting. If you come across a 2008 Oklahoma Quarter with one of these rare errors and it's in perfect, uncirculated condition, you're in for a real treat. The condition of a coin plays a massive role in its value, and the better preserved the coin, the higher the price it can command. If you've got one of these rare error coins and it's in mint condition, then the value could rise dramatically. So, what are we looking at in terms of value? Well, the truth is, the typical 2008 Oklahoma Quarter in circulated condition is worth just face value, 25 cents. But once you add in those rare minting errors, the value can skyrocket. Double die errors, off-center strikes, and die cracks all increase the rarity and demand for this coin, and a well-preserved error coin can sell for $45,000, yes, you heard me right, $45,000 for a single coin. That's not a typo. If you've got a 2008 Oklahoma Quarter with one of these rare errors in exceptional condition, you could be looking at a massive payday. So, it's time to start checking your collections and your spare change, but how do you know if you found one of these valuable error coins? Well, the key is in the details. Start by examining the design closely. Look for any doubling in the lettering or design, any misalignment in the image, or any cracks in the die that give the coin a unique appearance. Make sure to also pay attention to the condition. If the coin is well preserved and has no visible wear, that's a great sign that it could be worth a lot more than just a quarter. If you're still skeptical, don't worry. It's not every day that you find a coin worth thousands of dollars, but with the right knowledge and a little bit of luck, you could be holding on to a true treasure. And if you do find one of these rare 2008 Oklahoma Quarters, be sure to have it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or appraiser to confirm its value. So, what should you do next? Start looking through your coin collection. search through rolls of quarters, and check your change. You never know when you might come across a 2008 Oklahoma quarter with a rare minting error. It's time to unlock the hidden potential in your coins. Top 7, and last rare coin. We're talking about a coin that you may not have thought twice about before, but could be hiding a fortune. Yes, I'm talking about the 2015 Kisatchie quarter from the United States. At first glance, it might seem like just another state quarter, but trust me, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. So sit tight, because in this video, we're about to dive deep into the rarity, unique errors, and incredible value of this coin. Stick around to the end, and I'll tell you just how much it could be worth if you have the right one in your collection. Let's start with a bit of background. The 2015 Kisatchie quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This particular quarter was issued to honor Kisatchie National Park, located in Florida. The design features a breathtaking view of the park with the Kisatchie River in the foreground, surrounded by lush green trees and beautiful wildlife. The park is known for its stunning landscapes and diverse ecosystems, and the coin captures this beauty perfectly. At first glance, it's just a typical quarter, but when you dig a little deeper, you'll realize this coin holds secrets that could change the way you look at US currency forever. Now, the most interesting thing about this coin is not the design itself, although it is beautiful, but the rarity and minting errors that have made certain examples of the 2015 Kisatchie quarter incredibly valuable. You see, while millions of these quarters were minted, only a small fraction of them have the rare features that make them worth far more than their face value. This is where collectors get excited, because even the slightest minting mistake can turn a regular quarter into a valuable treasure. The most significant error to look out for on this coin is the double die error. A double die occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts or misaligns during the minting process, causing parts of the design to appear doubled or blurry. In the case of the 2015 Kisatchie quarter, you might see doubling in the text, such as the word Kisatchie or E pluribus unum, or it could even show up in the details of the river or trees on the reverse side. If you find a double die error on this coin, it immediately becomes much more valuable than a regular one. But the double die isn't the only error to keep an eye out for. Another rare minting mistake is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be cut off or misaligned. Imagine seeing a coin where part of the trees or the river is missing, or even the text on the coin is partially off the edge. That's a clear indicator of an off-center strike, and these coins are extremely sought after by collectors. The more dramatic the off-center misalignment, the more valuable the coin becomes. A 2015 Kisatchie quarter with an off-center strike is definitely worth looking into if you find one. But wait, there's more. One of the most interesting and often overlooked errors is the die crack. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can crack due to wear and tear. These cracks can create unique patterns or lines on the coin, which might appear anywhere in the design. On the 2015 Kisatchie quarter, you could find cracks running through the river or the trees, or even along the edges of the text. Die cracks can be subtle, but they make the coin look distinctive, and collectors love that. A die crack can increase the value of a coin, especially if it's a rare and pronounced crack that's easy to spot. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin. This is another critical factor that can significantly affect its value. A coin in excellent, uncirculated condition, free from scratches or signs of wear, is always worth more than one that's been in circulation for years. So, if you happen to come across a 2015 Kisatchie quarter with one of these minting errors and it's in pristine condition, you've got yourself a real collector's item. Here's the exciting part: a well-preserved, error-free 2015 Kisatchie quarter could still be worth a bit more than its face value, but when you add in those rare minting mistakes, it can reach mind-blowing values. A double die error or a dramatic off-center strike on this coin, in exceptional condition, could be worth as much as $43,000. Yes, you heard me right, $43,000 for a single quarter. That's the power of finding a rare, error-filled coin in top-notch condition. So, what should you do if you think you might have one of these rare coins? The first thing you should do is check your collection or any rolls of quarters you have lying around. Look for any signs of doubling in the design, any missing parts due to an off-center strike, or any noticeable cracks in the die. If you find one with an error, make sure to carefully examine its condition. If it's in mint or near mint state, it could be worth far more than just a quarter, and if you find one of these rare coins, don't just sell it right away. Get it professionally appraised by a coin dealer or have it graded by a reputable service to confirm its value. You'll want to make sure it's properly identified and authenticated before you sell it to get the highest possible price. If you're new to coin collecting or just getting started with rare coins, now's the time to dive in and explore. Who knows, maybe your next 2015 Kisatchie quarter could be worth $43,000. So, start checking those coins, and let us know if you find any hidden treasures. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, minting errors, and what makes certain coins so valuable, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell so you won't miss out on any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting, because that next 2015 Kisatchie quarter might just be worth $43,000.